Good morning, and thanks for joining me this morning for Morning Verses with Mike. As with every morning, we're going to read from the New Living Translation version of Every Man's Bible. I'm going to give it just a second for some people to pop in here. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing start to your day so far, and I do quite appreciate the people that are getting up and joining me. If you have a verse that is impacting you in the Bible, something that's speaking to you, please share it in the sidebar, share it on your page, tag me in it, and let's spread the word together. I think that would be awesome. And, I've had a few people say, hey, why are you doing this? I'm doing this every weekday morning, or not why, but when, but I'll tell you why also. Every weekday morning, I'm doing this at 6:15 a.m. Mountain Time. And why am I doing it? Because I feel like there's just a calling for me to share. And so it's one of those things. I'm hopping up, I'm sharing a verse that's impacting me and kind of what it means to me in the moment, because I do think that the Bible can carry different messages for different people at different times. Even with the same verse, it may impact you differently, because you go, man, I sure needed to hear that this morning, or I sure needed to hear that today. And it may shift a little bit throughout your life. So today I'm talking a little bit about overwhelm. I'm going to be talking about Exodus 33:14. And I'm going to turn here to Exodus first. This is a study Bible, so it says, what's this book about? God delivers his people from Egyptian slavery and gives them law. There's a kind of a side note here about the masculine perspective. I really think this is one of those that's a perspective for most anyone. It says, we understand the need for rules in sports and laws and society, operating instructions for tools and machinery, but very often we're tempted to think when it comes to our private life, we can pretty much do what we want. The Ten Commandments remind us that we're made to operate according to the rules that God set up. When we violate those rules, we hurt ourselves and others. And so this is one of those I thought I would share, Exodus 33:14, because it's on overwhelm. One of the things that I used to think was, man, once I'm out of high school, like I remember all of those things coming at you, all of the assignments, all the stuff. And let me give you a tip, kids. It never stops, right? If you're doing it right, then you constantly are going to have something to do every day. So 33:14 says, that's 34. I was like, wait a minute, I'm confused. 33:14 says, the Lord replied, I will personally go with you, Moses, and I will give you rest. Everything will be fine for you. I will personally go with you, Moses, and I will give you rest. Everything will be fine for you. See, our rest, our peace is always in the presence of God. When God talks about his presence going along with us, he's not talking about some ethereal, I'm going to float along beside you and hover above you and take care of you. That's not how it works. He surrounds us. His presence is always there. He's speaking of actively participating in our day-to-day lives, our stresses, our frustrations, our struggles, and he's going to participate in every one of those with us. He is the answer to the stress and frustration and overwhelm. We have to actively keep ourselves through our faith in his presence. You have to stay in your faith and in his presence. When you do that, you don't have to be worried or fearful or have anxiety or feel anxious, because trusting in him, you know that he will give you good results. That's one of those kind of simple reminders, like, hey, if I trust in you, I'll have good results. And it becomes our trust and our faith in God becomes that resting place, that peaceful quiet, that peaceful living in the daily strength. So thank you for getting up and joining me on Morning Verses with Mike this morning. I would sure appreciate if you would get up and join me every morning. It's weekday morning, 6:15 a.m. Mountain. If this is impacting you, please do me a favor. Share it now like it says there at the bottom. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Like I said, share a verse in the sidebar that's impacting you. And until we speak tomorrow morning, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. We'll talk to you soon, everybody.